Yo. Welcome to the Elevated Healthy channel. Welcome. Let some people get in so I can break some stuff down. Breaking news. So, it's been noted that 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony has been charged with first-degree murder for the alleged offing of Austin Meltcalf. So, as a reaction, I just wanted to provide some information, my reaction to it, and go over some content that others have put out. Everyone's calling Carmelo a murderer before he's even found guilty of it. Yet, I've seen the news for the person who took out and assassinated those people in Minnesota. The news had a title said, called this man a doomsday prepper. That's his title. And he didn't took out and murdered people. But his title in the headline was Doomsday Prepper. And then you have a 17-year-old who is defending himself before the trial is even arraigned, is already found guilty by the public. So here's a reaction video to Marco Mero explains self-defense in Carmelo Anthony case. I'm gonna play this video and we'll react to it.
Zimmerman wound up beating that case. But what do you see here? What are your questions? What will matter?
Oh, no, it's definitely a consideration. It always is, whether it's a sort of obvious what we're doing or the implicit one, because we all carry these implicit biases with us that perceive or impact how we perceive an event. Now, what's really it's going to come down to, and I disagree with the guy who said this is not a self-defense case. Yes, I think he said it. This is definitely a self-defense case because it always is one until you look at the facts of the case and compare the two. You have to compare who was the initial aggressor. Was it an aggressive act for him to go up and say, get away from the tent? Did he do more than that? My understanding was maybe he touched him and put hands on him. Granted, that makes the decedent in the case maybe the initial aggressor. But you really have to look at whether or not Carmelo Anthony responded with appropriate force, he used a deadly weapon, and whether or not he was in imminent fear of great bodily injury. That's the standard in Texas and most every state, to determine whether or not his actions, the way he perceived him, the way Carmelo Anthony perceived him when he took out that knife and stabbed him. The good part is if the decedent was the aggressor initially. The bad part for Carmelo, if in fact it's true that he sort of said, touch me and you'll see, because that's that aggression, that's that predisposition towards violence that doesn't have a place in a true self-defense case.
First of all, the idea of race, I mean, you lived it with Zimmerman in a big way. There's so many people who believe that that's why Zimmerman wound up beating that case. But what do you see here? What are your questions? What will matter?
Oh, no, it's definitely a consideration. It always is, whether it's...
Okay. So you heard what the criminal defense attorney Mark O'Meara stated about self-defense, Texas laws. I want to bring up para-personal space. All right, let's look at what that means right quick. Para-personal space. Parapersonal space refers to the area immediately surrounding an individual's body where they can interact with objects in the environment. It's essentially the space within arm's reach, crucial for movement, object interaction, and defense mechanisms. Keeping to that word, defense mechanisms. Take that into key consideration. That word, defense mechanism, or words. It's a dynamic, adaptable space influenced by factors like tool use, environment, and even internal state. Here's a more detailed breakdown. And as you can see, multisensory integration, action orientated. It's the space where we perform actions like reaching, grasping, manipulating objects. All right, follow me, follow me. Perspective role, dynamic and plastic. Okay, just trying to give y'all an overview of what I'm finna bring to you. All right, now you got self defense on the table. You got self defense on the table, and you got attorneys saying there's a self defense probability because it's reported that Austin Metcalf assaulted Mr. Anthony, and then as a result of that self defense, was allegedly stabbed. Now, I want to show y'all something right quick. Y'all see this flag a lot? The "Don't Tread on Me" flag. Let me see. American history has another important representation that many don't know the meaning of. The "Don't Tread on Me" flag. Americans are proud and protective of the freedom they have, sometimes referring to themselves as the world's freest country. The "Don't Tread on Me" flag represents a period in history when the United States was still fighting for independence from Great Britain, and words still resonate today. All right, so that flag is flown in Texas a lot. All right, now let's go to the Dallas News Report, Dallas Express. It says police reports provides details on tragic stabbing of Frisco school student Austin Metcalf. A newly released police report is giving the public more details about the death of Frisco High School student Austin Metcalf. Metcalf was fatally stabbed at a track meeting on April 2nd. The suspect, Karmelo Anthony, another another area high school student, remains in police custody. Statements from more than a dozen police officers appear in the Frisco Police Department arrest report. In the interest of informing the public about this tragedy, the Dallas Express has prepared excerpts from the police officer's statement. School Resource Officer Eduardo Cortez, first officer on the scene. Eduardo Cortez appears to have been the first law enforcement officer to arrive on the scene after a call went about a stabbing at David Kuyakindle Stadium. Cortez was in his office at Staley Middle School and reportedly ran the short distance from the middle school to the stadium, where several witnesses pointed him in the direction of the suspect. The suspect at this point was on the track on the north end. There was a chain link fence that separated me from the suspect. I gave the suspect instructions to keep his hands up in the air. During this time, the suspect said verbally out loud, I was protecting myself. It should be noted that I had not questioned him about the incident when he made that comment. I asked him if he had any weapons, and he said no. How did you determine that this person was the suspect? You literally just said you ran a short distance from the middle school where several witnesses pointed him in the direction of the suspect. Now, the suspect was the person that assaulted this person for this to be generated. And he said, state that I was protecting myself. Self defense. Now, if you're a Frisco ISD student and you're on Frisco ISD premises, you are allowed to attend games that may not be affiliated with your particular school. Now, I'm going to share you some other information about self defense. All right. So, what you're looking at here is material from the statutes.capitol.texas.gov, Penal Code, Title 2, General Principles of Criminal Responsibility, Chapter 9, Justification excluding criminal responsibility, Subchapter A, General Provisions. Feel free to go research this yourself. Section 9.31. Except as provided in subsection B, a person is justified in using force against another when and to the degree the actor reasonably believes the force is immediately necessary to protect the actor against the other's use or attempted use of unlawful force. The actor's belief that the force was immediately necessary, as described by the subsection, is presumed to be reasonable if the actor, one, knew and had reasons to believe that the person against him whom the force was used, A, unlawfully and with force, entered or was attempting to enter unlawfully with force the actor's occupied habitation, vehicle, or place of business or employment. Unlawfully and with force removed or was attempting to remove unlawfully and with force the actor from the actor's habitation, vehicle, or place of business or employment, or C, was committing or attempting to commit aggravated kidnapping, murder, sexual assault, aggravated sexual assault, robbery, or aggravated robbery. Two, did not provoke the person against whom the force was used. And three, was not otherwise engaged in criminal activity other than Class C misdemeanor, that is a violation of law or ordinance regulating traffic at the time the force was used. And I could stop right there. Wasn't it reported that in a Frisco ISD premises, if you're a Frisco student, you are able to sit wherever you like, no matter if it's under a branded tent of a high school you don't attend, because people do that all the time. Let's not act like different schools don't commingle and go on each other's sides and shoot the breeze, chop it up, whatever, whatever. Even if there is a rivalry, we've seen where different schools may not like each other on the sports side, but it's not like that when it comes to congregation, right? So, unlawfully and with force, attempting to remove a Frisco ISD student from a Frisco ISD premise. Follow me. Resource officers right over the street, right? So they can easily, like you said, jog over there and handle that issue if it was that aggravating. Okay. Where does it show and say that another student can put their hands on another student? Isn't that a need for self-defense? Because I just gave you the parapersonal space, which was violated, which can cause all kind of reactions. Okay. The person feeling the victim, Carmelo Anthony, feeling threatened, said, hey, which obviously the aggression was to the point he had to, hey man, touch me and see what happens. That's saying, man, I don't want you to hit me, but you that close to me, man. You threaten me that much, putting your hands on me, I'm gonna have to defend myself. So again, what are we charging this young man for first degree murder for when I'm showing you the self defense laws? I keep going. And it was two of them, not one. Two of them. So you got two against one. Where were the Frisco ISD personnel? Obviously, this person was not problematic because he wasn't warranted any type of resource officer to jog over there and say, "Hey, Carmelo, you know you're not supposed to be sitting right there." Da 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 da. You can't say, "Hey, we go to this school, and because our tenant is sitting over a few bleachers, that this is our area." And then another Frisco ISD student come in, say, "No, you can't sit right here. You need to move." Well, from the reports, it's raining. Okay, but if you got in this man face and assaulted this dude to the point that he or you pulled out a knife and he grabbed it from you, or whatever the case may be, self-defense. Now everybody's saying, "Oh, you brought a knife." Let me show you Penal Code, Title 10, Offenses Against Public Health, Safety and Morals, Chapter 46, Weapons. And I'm going to drop it right there. Section 46.02. Let me go to where it actually talks about the knives. Oh, I may have passed it up. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Location restricted knife means a knife with a blade over 5 1/2 inches. Okay, follow me. Hold on. Show y'all something quick. In Texas, laws regarding weapons on school property are a combination of the Texas Education Code and Texas Penal Code. Generally, weapons are prohibited on school grounds with specific exceptions for authorized individuals. Texas Penal Code Section 46.03 places where weapons are prohibited, including schools and sponsored events. However, the Texas Education Code also allows licensed handgun carriers to store firearms in their vehicles in school parking areas, provided they are not visible. So you mean to tell me you can't have weapons on campus and this is telling you can? Hold on now. Let me show y'all something. What is this penal code at? Texas 4603. We can go back to that. All right, check this out. Section 46 dot 03 places where weapons prohibited. And you remember the Texas Education Code also adopts these rules. So a person commits an offense if the person intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly possesses or goes with a firearm. Location restricted knife. What did we say a location restricted knife was? 5 1/2 inches. Club or prohibited weapon listed in section 46.05. 1. On the premises of a school or post secondary educational institution, on any grounds or building owned by and under the control of a school or post secondary educational institution, and on which an activity sponsored by the school or institution is being conducted, or in a passenger transportation vehicle of a school or post secondary educational institution, whether the school or post secondary education institution is public or private, unless A, pursuant to written regulations or written authorization of the school or institution, or the person possesses or goes with a concealed handgun that the person is licensed to carry under subchapter H, chapter 411 Government Code, and no other weapon to which this section applies, on the premises of a post secondary educational institution, on any grounds or building owned by and under the control of the institution on which an activity sponsored by the institution is being conducted, or in a passenger transportation vehicle of the institution. So if that knife is less than 5.5 1/2 inches, hey, there's no need to question the knife, because the knife is considered, can be considered a weapon. It's also, a cutting tool. You got box cutters, it's sharp, cut stuff with that. So I'm just breaking it down by the law. You see it right there. About a lawyer that says a viable self-defense case. I looked into that and seen some research about the laws, about the knife situation, about premises, and if you're a student of a certain you know independent school district, you can go to these facilities and you allotted there. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Carmelo was not in a place he wasn't supposed to be. He was Frisco ISD student. So all this stuff about murder and all this, I need to cool all that out. You know what I'm saying? And look at the laws. Because if the police report is stating that the person that's no longer here with us attacked them first, man, what you gonna do? It's 2020 something. You know how it is out here, man. A punch to the temple can kill you. Think about that. I don't wish death on anybody. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, in a nice reality, you know what I'm saying? If everybody can ethno aggregate, you know what I'm saying, and do their thing, perfect. If people want to blend and come together and do their thing, let them blend. But either way, the person that killed those people in Minnesota, I seen a headline, I believe, of Fox, called this dude a doomsday prepper. Yet, 17-year-old is already considered murder in the first degree. Already considered murder. Parallel universe. Thank you for listening and watching this video. If you felt this content was helpful, informative, or you didn't even like it, thought it was trash, hey, I respect that, man. You know what I'm saying? I respect y'all opinion because you're entitled to it. And it's not my business to know what you think. You know what I'm saying? That's your right. But just broke it down, man, to you. Appreciate y'all for watching. I'm outside.